The Premier League is finally back, and we are for another season of fun, another season of Newcastle United Football Club. We are back on Saturday. Newcastle United versus Southampton at St James's Park. 3 PM kick-off, and it's going to be a good one. In this video today, we're going to look at absolutely everything going into the game on Saturday. I simply can't wait to be back at St James's Park, back with the lads, and back seeing the boys, hopefully picking up the first 3 points of the season. Coming up against a side that won the playoff final in the Championship, they could come up and have a good season. They could have a shit season. We'll look at Southampton, speak about Newcastle, and speak a little bit more about the game, actually like the game, what's going to happen on Saturday. Make sure to leave a like, boys, subscribe to the channel, and let's get into it now. So then, Southampton Football Club, as I mentioned before, got promoted via the playoffs against Leeds. Had an okay season in the Championship. I thought they were going to do a lot better, but there or thereabouts, done average. Looking at their pre-season games, they haven't done too bad. They only lost to Oxford, which I still think's a bad result. Beat Montpellier, beat Bordeaux, drew to Lazio, drew to Getafe, beat Millwall. It's not a bad pre-season when you look at it. And you look at the transfers as well. Brereton Diaz, very good player. You've got Flynn Downs as a good player. Shagawa, I'm pronouncing that so. The Japanese right back, he signed. They signed Charlie Taylor. Adam Lallana has returned. Howard Bellis has signed from Manchester City. They have made some good signings. They have, just, I feel like they're lacking that bit of something. Do you know what I mean? Will Adam Armstrong do it in the Premier League next season? Had an unbelievable season last season in the Championship, but we all know the step from the Championship to the Premier League is a completely different level, and he didn't really do it last time in the Premier League. Could he do it this time? It's going to be a very tough ask, but as I mentioned before, I think they've made some good signings. I think they've adapted to the squad, and I've made a little starting 11 how I think they're going to set up for the game versus Newcastle. Looking at a couple of their pre-season games, they come to St James's Park, a stadium where teams struggle to win. I think they will go with a 5 back. I'm not going to go into detail as I do with Newcastle. I'll go over a couple of players. I think a 5 back will probably be what they probably go for. I think defensively, that defence is okay. I feel like it could obviously improve with maybe Stevens and Bentonbeck could get improved, but there are players that are touching Premier League quality, maybe top end Championship. Walker Peters is a decent player, as I mentioned before. The right back's quite good. In the midfield, I think Joe Reed was a decent player, but he's not in the Premier League in my opinion. I said the midfielder, small one, I think he's called. I think he's a bit of a Championship player as well. And then Flynn Downs had a good season last season. Obviously they've signed him on a permanent. And then the two strikers, Armstrong, former mag, he'll want to probably score. And then Brereton Diaz is a good player and knows how to score the goal. Done it for Sheffield United, done it for Blackburn, done it for Villarreal. So that's how I think they're going to set up for the game versus Newcastle on Saturday. Touching more on Russell Morton, only ever managing the Championship, which is a bit, I wouldn't say scary, but it's a massive jump. It is a massive jump for a manager, and you've got to take stuff so differently from in the Championship with the Premier League. Defeats, last minute goals, decision making, every little bit of detail has got to be absolutely spot on, because if it's not, you get caught out. Look at Newcastle's squad. If that midfield for Southampton has a little bit sluggish and they're not really eyed, Bruno and Joe Linton, they will know about it. It's the fine little details that they've got to be ready for, and if they're not ready for it, then I think they could struggle. With Russell Morton having not the experience in the Premier League, obviously only, I think it was at Swansea, wasn't he? Swansea, and then now with Southampton, obviously being at Southampton for 1 year, came and got promoted. It's still going to be a tough ask. Speaking on a player who was at Southampton last season and literally nothing's been said, nothing's been seen of the kid, Ryan Fraser. He was at Southampton last season, done quite well. He played with Russell Morton in the Scottish squad, I think it was, and he's a player that I think Southampton fans liked. I think he provided a bit for them. He's probably going for a squad player next season, but now it's been said, he should be at Newcastle, I would have thought. I don't know if he's with the under-21s, I don't know, I really don't know. I don't know what Ryan Fraser's doing at the minute. So if he is with Newcastle, fuck knows. We'll probably find out when they announce the squad numbers on Friday, I would have thought. But then will Southampton sign him? I think he's got 1 year left on his contract. I think it is. I think we've got 1 year left. He's a player that Southampton liked, a player that Russell Martin liked, and I feel like he could go to Southampton and do it. But he done it last season. Where will he go this season? It's a bit of a weird one, but I thought I'd just touch on that with him being at Newcastle and obviously Southampton on loan last season. Right then, I simply can't wait for Saturday. I absolutely love first game of the season. It's so exciting. That break in the summer, and obviously with the Euros, I'm not a fan of European football, never have and never will. Club football is everything, and having that back on Saturday, the joy, the passion, everything about it being in St James's Park on Saturday is going to be absolutely electric. But Newcastle still have to do the job. On opening days over the years since 2020, we beat West Ham, we got beat at West Ham, then we beat Forest, then we beat Villa. So over the years we've not done too bad in the first game of the match week, which is canny, but that doesn't matter. You can't take that in accountability. This is Newcastle United. This is a game where we've got to win. Last season, we didn't beat Bournemouth, didn't beat Everton, didn't beat Luton. That's what cost us getting European football. Yes, we finished in a European spot, but that's what cost us European football. Right? Southampton at home, towards the end of the season, could be a crucial game. Could be a game that we look back on and go, fucking hell, man, how the fuck did we draw 1-1? Like, little things like that. They've just been promoted. It's a bit like the Nottingham Forest. They got promoted, I think, due to the playoffs. Came into the, obviously, Premier League, and we beat them on the first game of the season 2-0. Could be a quite similar game to that. I can say goals in this game. I feel like Newcastle will play well. I feel like we have played well in pre-season. Obviously beating Girona and beating Brest. I feel like they were two really good games, and it's just the transfers. The team that's going to play on Saturday will be nigh on the exact same team that played probably the last game of the season against Brentford and then Brighton. Them two games, the squad's not really changed, and we'll go for the squad that I think actually will play on Saturday. So I'm not going to do a predictor team video like what I did last season. This is going to be one big preview speaking about everything, rather than doing a little video for a predictor team. I'll get it all in one video, get it all done, because obviously I'm going to be focusing on our content rather than getting little bits of videos out. So let's look at the team that I think will play on Saturday. I think we all know Nick Pope will start and goal. Looking at the back four, if Trippier starts, I'll be very disappointed. He came in, and obviously with the Euros, came in late, obviously because he had his break and stuff. Obviously he's been rumoured to leave. He's been linked with West Ham, he's been linked with Saldi, still at the club. Obviously we've not been announced who's been captain and vice captain. I don't know if it's going to change. I don't know if that's going to be Dan Burn as vice captain now, but I think that'll be so unfair on Tino Livramento, because he's had a good pre-season, needs games under his belt against his old team. He'll want to start that game. Two centre halves, I think it'll be Fabian Shaw and Dan Burn, and then left back Lewis Hall. I can't see Lloyd Kelly starting left back. I can't see anyone else starting left back. I can't see Dan Burn starting left back, and then Lloyd Kelly centre half. I think Lewis Hall's performed really well in pre-season, and I think that's something that Eddie Howe's definitely seen. I think Dan Burn will start over Lloyd Kelly, and I think Fabian Shaw's a guaranteed starter. The midfield three, obviously you've got Longstaff, Bruno and Joe Linton. As you can see, I think people will go, wait, why is Willock not starting, and think of it that way. I think we all know already how like Sean Longstaff, and I think Sean Longstaff will start the game with Bruno and Joe Linton. I feel like finally Longstaff's gonna have a bit of support there. Yes, he had Bruno for all of last season, but Miley's good, but he doesn't give you that defensive side, and that's what Longstaff lacked. When you've got Joe Linton there, Joe Linton will make Longstaff look better, and he didn't have that last season. So I feel like Longstaff will start over Willock. And that's what they're the only four that can really start in midfield. Then going into the forward three, I think obviously Murphy scored the most goals in pre-season in the Premier League. I think he's up there. Isak, it will start, and then it's Anthony Gordon and Harvey Barnes, and I think Anthony Gordon will start. I think Harvey Barnes needs to get games under his belt as soon as possible, because he had a good end towards the season, scored against Brentford, and I feel like this will be a big year for him. He needs to get some games, but where can you put him? Anthony Gordon's magnificent, and he will start, so that's why Anthony Gordon's in with Isak, and then obviously Jacob Murphy. So I can see Newcastle going into this game a little bit like the Nottingham Forest game, a little bit anxious, but the quality in that starting 11 I've just showed you should be way more than enough to beat Southampton on Saturday. Premier League's back, gonna be good, and the actual vlogs are back. I hate the pre-season games, honestly. It's like so daunting being in the stadium and stuff, but nothing beats the first game of the season. 3 PM kick-off. Hopefully the weather's going to be nice in the tune, and hopefully Newcastle United can pick up 3 points. There will be obviously a vlog on the channel, do a little player ratings and stuff as a short. Maybe want to do more shorts on the channel as well. I feel like they've been getting good views recently, so I will be doing more shorts. Let me know video ideas in the comment section down below. That's going to be the end of the preview, boys. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you all Saturday for the vlog and for the game. Away the lads.
Newcastle! Newcastle!